Since the last video dropped of me prepping the vehicle for flow coating, the weather's gotten extremely cold here, so I'm not able to work like I want to. However, this is giving me time to study all the film and all the things that I've done thus far to the vehicle as far as applying sealer, base coat, and clear coat, and learn from my mistakes before I do the flow coat. And also, there was a few burn throughs I had when I was sanding down for flow coating, as far as within the inner rim of the fender and the quarter panel, and I'll show you guys that in a later part of this video. But I figured I'll take time out to show you guys how I believe I've done so far, and I'm glad because I ordered a different kind of clear, and I should talk about that later in the video as well. And we're gonna flow coat this thing with me learning from my mistakes, so I should do a much better job when I do get there. And I got a small window in a couple days to get that done, and trust me, I've learned a lot just by studying all the things that I've done and how I was missing panels. In this particular case, with me sealing, I think I did pretty well. Although the sealer laid down near flawless, I missed panels, and thank goodness the car was black, and I was inconsistent a lot in this video during this process, very inconsistent, and I caught that. But I didn't do as bad as I did when it came down to the clear coat to me. But yeah, with this one, I think I did overall okay, although it laid down pretty good. No complaints about laying it down, just my inconsistency watching the film back bothered me. I mean, watching the unedited hours and hours of footage back of me making small mistakes, although I trained technique before. So here's my rating for this job. So at this point, I'm applying base. This is probably the second coat, and I think I did pretty good. I was a little bit more consistent. I didn't miss a lot of spots like I did with the sealer, although I kind of swayed away from some areas of the vehicle because I was kind of eager. I was rushing, to be honest with you guys. I was eager to get on it and to take on my first paint job. So I think that had a lot to do with me being very inconsistent throughout this whole process, and that was my problem. I didn't give myself time to settle and relax. I just was eager to get paint on here and make it look nice, and not realizing that you want to be consistent and take your time and get relaxed when doing this. And I found myself just overthinking a lot of this. But overall, I think I did okay with the base. A little bit inconsistent, like I said, on this part of it, although the base laid down very well, minimal dust, no runs, nothing really, just a near flawless job, despite the flash times taking longer than normal because it was cold. It was cold, and I did the best I can. But yeah, here's my rating for the base coat performance. So applying clear, I think I did the worst out of all three. I was rushing. I think I was moving a little bit too fast, and my overlap sucked. Looking back at the footage, my overlap was horrible, and I'll do way better when it comes down to flow coating. But yeah, I was very, very inconsistent here. Despite me getting an overall decent finish afterwards, my consistency was terrible laying down the clear coat. And I was getting comments on me touching the vehicle for tacking. I had some tape around my hand, and I got lint from that bogus hood I had on my head. I had got some lint within the clear, so I had some tape taped on my finger, and I was just tapping it, removing the lint out of it. It worked perfect. This was before I laid down the, I think, third coat or second coat. Yeah, I got some lint in there, and you put the tape around my finger and removed it, out of the spots that I've seen, and that worked very well for me. Yeah, I wasn't touching it to see if the clear was ready for me to go on with another coat. Just want to kind of make that clear. I don't know why I didn't make that obvious or mention that in the previous video, but yeah, I think overall here, kind of looking back at the footage, I was disappointed that my overlap was way off and a little bit inconsistent here as well. And I've been watching these videos over and over and over again before I apply clear coat for the flow coat. I mean, coming up within a couple days, so that video will be out following me filming it. But trust me, I've watched countless more videos before I get through this process, the flow coating, and just studying my own game tapes to figure out where I was inconsistent and work on a better technique. So you guys will see me lay down the flow coat much better, and we'll talk about that in a second. So you guys see I rated the clear coat job a C. I was gonna do a D+, but me not getting any runs, and I think I did a really decent job for me doing it my first time. It turned out nice. Like I said, just me being inconsistent bothered me a lot. It really bothered me, and I've been studying a lot to make sure I do well with the flow coat coming up. And I ordered some more clear, and I'll show you all that. It just arrived, so gave me some time to get that in. It's from Eurochem as well. I was on the phone with them quite a bit throughout this process as far as me using a different clear of their product with another kind of clear that they sell, and they told me that was perfectly fine. I didn't have to worry about any reaction, or it wasn't a problem with me mixing them if I had to. So we're gonna tackle the flow coat. I got a small window in a couple days, so we're gonna make sure we get that. So let me show you guys where I'm at right now. But yeah, ready to see. After fixing the wiper section and thoroughly overlooking the car, making sure I had everything sanded down properly before I flow coated, I noticed a couple burn throughs in the inner fender walls. I just was aggressive with the only using 600 and 800 grit. Just was aggressive within the fender walls, and I seen some metal, and I just didn't want to have any issues in the future with this. And yeah, I kind of masked the whole car off and fixed them. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about as far as the inner fender, me kind of burning through on a couple small sections that wouldn't even be noticeable. You couldn't even see it unless you had really looked, got within the wheel was and looked at it. But this is what I fixed. There was an issue behind in the quarter panel on the rear. I kind of burned through in that section right there, and I didn't want it to be a problem, so I had to fix that over. Just misted some sealer in and a little base, so it'd be prepped for clear when I flow coat it. And show you guys what else I did towards the front. Same thing here in the front. There's a section right there that kind of have crinkles in it from when they had to curve the metal off, and I kind of burned through that section right there. Same thing on the other side, so I have to fix that as well. So this is the clear I used for the job, and I was gonna go back with this and just use it until I seen their Glamour clear coat, and I want to give that a try. So I called and see would it work, and they told me yes. So I ordered 2 quarts of this here, and should be more than enough to flow coat the car. But yeah, this is it. While I was waiting around for the weather to get better so I can flow coat the vehicle, I took some 800 grit and just put it on my little sander and just start refining the work. Although I did a really good job hand sanding everything, I just took the orbital sander with the 800 grit and just kind of went over some of the spots that had a tiny bit of glare to them. You know, I think it would have been fine, but I just went over it again, making sure everything was nice and smooth for when I do flow coat the vehicle. I'll be remasking the vehicle within a day or so. I look at the small window I have. The temperatures will hover around a 46 mark outside, 46, and I see 42. Those are perfect for me because I can get the temperature to around 65 and let it maintain in the high 50s inside there when I'm painting. So that should be perfect for me. Those 2 days should allow me enough time to do what I need to do and get the car completed so I can worry about the parts after that. And when I'm done flow coating it, I'll pull it out and take it back to the garage so I can start reassembling everything. I do have to paint the parts. I did paint or apply sealer to a couple parts, the front end or the header panel and one of the spoilers. So I'll drop this video as soon as I'm done, and then we'll come back with another video with me pulling it out of here for the first time so you guys can look at the work. A lot of work went into this, a lot of work, and I knew I was facing longer times because I'm not a professional yet, and I knew it's going to take me longer to get a professional result, and I was perfectly fine with that because I passionately love working. So be on the lookout for those videos. Thanks for watching. Terrence and I'm out.